Hey guys, it's your man Max 15 bringing you our first episode in our new series, which is Guild Wars 2. Now I'm so excited to bring you guys this game. It's brilliant in my opinion, but just quickly before we start I have to explain something about my channel. Now I know I haven't been posting any videos recently, but that is just purely because I've been having problems with my internet and with YouTube. But don't worry, that's all sorted now, and I should be posting a sort of weekly schedule soon, which then explain to you guys what videos I'll be posting when, so you'll know what to expect. Now in terms of Guild Wars 2, I said it was brilliant before, and I mean it. Why is it brilliant? Well, it's got so much content, and nowadays it's a buy-to-play game, so there's no there's no subscriptions rather, or monthly fees. You literally just go out and buy the game, and like recently I've seen it on in sales for like something like 12 quid, which is ridiculous. So it's so cheap. And for that small amount of money, you literally, there's so much content and you can play as much as you want. And soon you'll see, and I'll show you, there is so much replay value in this game, which is brilliant, and there's so much variety. Now as you can see, there are these 5 races that you get to choose from when creating your character. Now I'm just going to explain a little bit about the lore to you, so you know why there are these 5 different races. But don't quote me on anything, because I'm not entirely sure. Now in Guild Wars 1, I haven't played it, but I believe in Guild Wars 1 you could only play as a human, and you were literally just sort of defending your territory from the other races. And then now in Guild Wars 2, these almighty dragons have arisen and are now threatening all life in Tyria, the land in which Guild Wars 2 is set. And so these 5 races now have to sort of unite to defend themselves from this threat. Now I'll just quickly walk you through the 5 different choices or races that you have. If you want to read the description below, please do. You could just pause the YouTube video or whatever, because it does give you some description about their history. But anyway, the chart, now these guys are sort of like cat people, and their sort of whole ideology is very much war-based. To them, it's all about being strong. There's no place for the weak in Char society. Their theme is very much sort of steampunkish. They have these huge towering war machines, and to them it's all about being the strongest and who can kill the most and who's the best in battle. It's a very ferocious society and very, very cool in its own way. Now next we have the humans, which is quite a self-explanatory race obviously. Now in Guild Wars 1, I think I mentioned that the humans have this massive empire, which now has been reduced to this not tiny, but this little nation called Kryta. And it was reduced by invasions from other races, and also the dragons obviously attacking them as well. And they are very, very cool in their own respects. Now here we have the Norn, who are these sort of towering, muscular, sort of Viking-based race. I say Viking-based because to them it's all about who can kill the mightiest beasts and who has the biggest trophies, and they're the sort of race that sort of boast in these grand mead halls. And to them it's all about building your legend and your name to go down in history and in song. Yeah, so which is really, really cool, and leads on to some really, really cool storylines. So I highly suggest you playing as them, and also their starting area is awesome. Now here we have the Azura, who are so funny. You may have seen me in my first episode or video playing as an Azura, and their animations are so funny. You'll see them later on in the game. But basically they are these sort of technological wizards. They have such great intelligence that their technology sort of outsurpasses any other race, and because of this it's reflected in their sort of architecture. Because they have such great technology, most of their buildings sort of can defy gravity. Their main city called Ratasum is this giant floating cube in the sky, which looks awesome, and all their buildings look awesome because it's just hugely technologically advanced. I don't know how to say for some weird reason, but they are really, really cool, and I highly suggest you check them out. Now here we have the Sylvari, who are they're very new to Guild Wars as a series. They weren't Guild Wars 1, and they've only appeared in Guild Wars 2, I believe 22 years after sort of events of, well, now Guild Wars 2. And basically they awake, they don't awaken? No, they just awake. Sorry, I'm not sure how to say that. They awake, and they're not born. Before they awake, they are in a sort of subconscious sort of dream life, which they call the dream. And in that dream they learn all about the history of Tyria and everything they need to know about the world, and also they learn some hints about their future. So it's really, really cool. So once they awaken, they're fully fledged adults. They're not kids. They know everything about the world, which is really cool in their own ways. And to them, it's all about following one's purpose and one's destiny and protecting everyone from evil and corruption. And also their starting area looks pretty cool and it's very unique. Now in terms of which one we're going to go for, it's been really hard to decide because each race, I'm not kidding, is hugely diverse and different from each other. But just purely because I've enjoyed playing this race the most and I've enjoyed their starting area the most, we are going to go for a human. Now here of course we have the gender selection, either female or male. We are going to go for male. Now this is your profession or class selection screen. Now as you can see, there are 8 classes and each is very unique in their own ways. Once again, if you want to read the description below, please do. Just pause the YouTube video or whatever. I'll just quickly go through them. Now here we have the elementalist, who are sort of your mage rather type. So they have high DPS and are quite squishy, and they can control the elements of fire, water, wind and earth, which makes them hugely diverse, and their abilities are very cool. Now here of course we have the warrior, who is sort of a tanking class, who can use sort of a wide array of weaponry to sort of crush their foes, and they can take a lot of hits and deal lots of damage, which is pretty cool. Now here we have the guardians, who are sort of the I guess sort of paladins or monks in other games. They're sort of the healing / tanking class, and I highly suggest them to new players because they have so many sort of like self-healing abilities and self-buffing abilities. They don't die so quickly, and obviously they can heal themselves, so it makes starting sort of playthrough quite, I wouldn't say easy, but easier than the other classes. Now here we have the engineer, who are a very interesting class. They have the ability to sort of spawn turrets and get these flamethrowers, which are awesome. Their flamethrowers are like insane. They're like the big things which just have like insane amount of damage and just look awesome. But there is one flaw with this class. Each class has sort of a variety of weapons that they can use in the game. The engineer unfortunately only has 3, which sort of limits it slightly, as you'll see later in the game, because the weapon choices that you use sort of affects the abilities that you can use. But even so, they're very, very cool. I've seen lots of people play as engineers and they've thoroughly enjoyed it, and they are very good and useful in their own ways. Now here we have the mesmers, who are sort of quite a unique class. They're sort of like illusionists, and they can like summon these clones to help them fight in battle, which is really cool. Now one thing about the mesmers is they are a mage, so they can't tank and they can die quite easily, but they don't have high DPS like the elementalists, so they're quite sort of a skill-based class. They are quite hard to play as, but I highly suggest you doing them because they have a lot of controlling abilities, and also their abilities just in general look the best and have the best effects. So they are very nice, a very cool class to play. I've noticed I'm saying cool quite a lot, but it just is because this game is awesome. But anyway, here we have the thief class, who first off, the armor just looks just awesome. I mean, just look at that, that just looks amazing. But basically, these guys are sort of the assassin-based class. In other games, they have the ability to sort of stealth themselves, to inflict poisoning and dot effects. By the way, dot effects, in case you didn't know, is sort of damage over time. Now here we have the necromancer rather, not necromancer. They are sort of the pet / mage-based class. Obviously, being a necromancer, they have the ability to summon undead hordes, or pets rather. But also they have the sort of mage side, so they have lots of spells and condition inflicting abilities, which make them really, really interesting. And to them, it's all about, you know, sucking the life from the foes and giving themselves life by doing so. Now they have this really cool ability by which they can like enter this like invincible state. It's literally invincible, and that allows them to gain sort of extra abilities and stuff. So it makes them a very diverse class indeed. Now here we have, last but not least, the ranger. Now the ranger are obviously the pet-based class in the game. They can tame or charm, as it is in this game, to charm different animals to become their companions. Now most animals you see in the game you can tame, but only specific ones, which are called juveniles. Now the really cool thing about this is it's not just you can have one at a time, you can have 2 at a time, and any animals that you've charmed, you can just switch out at any time. So you have 2 that you actively have, and then at any time you can just switch out one of those 2 for a new one that you've tamed before. So it's really, really cool. There's no storing system. It's literally just once you charm an animal, you can select it at any time and use it at any time, which is really, really nice feature in the game. Now in terms of the class we're going to go for, I wasn't quite sure because it is sort of there's a lot of variety in it, and it's quite hard to choose, but just purely because I played this class the most, and I've enjoyed it the most, and I know the most about it, and also its abilities are awesome. I am going to go for the Elementalist. Now the next part is your like sort of bodily features and making your character look truly unique. Now this part is your height, obviously, and we're just going to go for just above average height. We don't want to be like a tall slender man nor a dwarf. Now this part is like just your sort of like physique, and obviously you can go like really weird and like hench and like ripped. It's kind of crazy. So we're just going to go for sort of normal. I know this doesn't really look like a mage, but there's no sort of mage builds in that sort of physique area. But anyway, head options. This sort of your facial features. Obviously it goes from, there's quite a large variety. It goes from sort of young to sort of quite old, but the one we're going to go for is this one. Now you can't quite see it at the moment because we have the weird Justin Bieber hairstyle in front, but it looks very determined, which I quite like. Now this bit is the hair selection screen, and it's quite unusual because there is a lot of variety in here, and it goes from anywhere from the weird, I don't know what that is, to the sort of like classical elven mage style look. So we are just going to go for this hairstyle here because I think it looks sort of casual, messy sort of hairstyle, and I quite like it. Now this last bit about the head options, which is facial hair. Obviously you can have sort of crowbar, which looks really weird, and then obviously just sort of the normal. We're just going to go for this sort of like stubble here because I think it looks the best. Now facial details, there are a lot of sliders to change everything. It's kind of crazy, but we're just going to go simply for the eye color, and we're just going to make it, I don't know, blue. Yeah, we'll just go for that blue. And of course you have the nose, mouth and chin, and there are a lot of sliders to truly make your face look unique, but we're not going to go through that now because I think we look okay. Now here's the armor die system, and this means nothing in the character creation because Guild Wars 2 has this awesome feature where you can change the colour of your sort of armor that you're wearing at any time by using dies that you've already collected, and at the start of the game you get this palette just straight away for free, and then you collect dies from random drops, and also you can buy them as well. Now we're just going to go for the simple white, red theme, just because I think it looks sort of the best, in my opinion. There we go. Now this is our finished character. That's what we will look like. Now this is the part of the character creation screen, which basically you choose the first piece of equipment you get. Each class is a different one to choose from. Like mesmers have these masks that they can get. Soldiers obviously have helmets and stuff. And as an elementalist, we can choose a gem that floats above our head. If you look, it like changes and stuff like that. Double clicked it. But the one we're going to go for is fire, because I think it just looks the most obvious and looks really, really cool. Now this part of your selection screen is how you interact with NPCs. So you can either be charming, dignified, or ferocious. Now obviously if you want to read a bit at the bottom, please do. Just freeze the YouTube video. But anyway, we are going to go with charm because we are a nice person and we don't want to piss anyone off. Now this part of the game, I'll just quickly explain, because in the character creation you have this biography thing, which will then later on affect the type of story missions that you do and the story quest that you do, which is really, really cool because it basically makes the whole game like hugely replayable, because each race has their own storyline, like 6 different storylines that you can follow. So you can play the same race 6 times and get a different experience each time. And then of course you have all the other races to play as well. And then of course you have all the other classes as well. It's an insane amount of replay value, which is really, really nice to see, and shows a lot of variety within the gameplay. Now this bit says, I was raised in the streets by common folk among the nobility, and I've done these 2 before, and they're very, very cool in their own ways, but just purely because I haven't done it before and it's sort of new to me, so it'll be new to, so I'll be in the same boat as you guys. We're going to go with nobility. We'll skip a bit there. Okay, now this bit is sort of your main storyline thing that you'll do. It says, one of my biggest regrets is that I've never searched for my true parents, I've never recovered my sister's body, or I passed up the opportunity to perform at the circus. Now this thing I think is pretty cool. It's very unusual, but very cool in its same way. Now these 2 here, the searching for parents or sister's body, they're very cool in their own ways. This one has a very big sort of secret at the end, and this one has a big conspiracy theory, which makes them really, really cool. And I highly suggest them, but just purely because, once again, I haven't done it and it looks freaking awesome, we're going to go with the circus, because I think it looks the best. Now this part is choosing the god. that you represent, and this doesn't affect your storyline, it affects the abilities that you can get later on in the game, which is really cool because once again it makes there's even more sort of customization in the classes, which is really interesting. I'll just quickly walk you through them. Here we have Dwayna, who is the goddess of healing, Brent, the god of death, Balthazar, the god of war, Melandru, the goddess of earth, Cormia, the goddess of truth and order, and Liza, the goddess of beauty. Now we are going to go with Brent, just purely because I've chosen this guy before, and his abilities are really cool, and I like them the best. Now, the last part of your character creation screen is sort of an overview of what you've chosen. If you read that, it will like literally just highlight all the things that we chose in our biography, such as the god we chose and the storyline quest that we chose as well. Now, the last part is obviously choosing a name. Now, this bit obviously quite hard once again, but we are just going to go with something sort of simple, something I did in my rift, sort of like tie them together. Tyson Mage. There we go. And once I click next, it will take us into a short cutscene, which is really cool, and sort of introduces us to the whole sort of concept and the background story of the humans. So once it happens, I'll shut up and let you guys watch and enjoy.
The human race once ruled Tyria. Now, we struggle to hold our ground. We've been defeated, driven back, broken, but we will not surrender. So many nations have fallen. Only Kryta still stands. Our faith is strong despite the silence of the six gods. With courage, we'll make our stand in divinity's reach. The city is my home. I was born into luxury, a noble of divinity's reach, and privilege comes with responsibility. I protect the commoners under my care. They believe in me. I'm grateful for their trust, and I will not let them down. Today I plan to venture beyond the gates of the city and see the world for myself. But when I arrived in Shamor, I found the town under siege by centaurs. Innocent villagers are in danger. Someone has to help. I will show the people that we can triumph, that there is still hope. This is my story.
And there we go. Now, wasn't that a dramatic introduction to this game? Those cutscenes are awesome. Now, as you can see here, we are going to be thrown into a sort of instance-based tutorial, which is really cool. But it's not like other tutorials. It doesn't throw sort of hints and stuff and make you do all these random quests like walk here and hit this. It's literally just sort of throws you into the action and gets you started, which I like a lot. And it's called the Defense of Shamor. And here we are. This is Guild Wars 2, not the open world, just the sort of introduction or tutorial area. As you saw, we just got some mail there. That's just to do with, I believe, is to do with the sort of event, the seasonal event that's happening right now. And this is one thing about the game which I really enjoy. The seasonal events happen quite frequently, and because of that, it sort of shows that the producers are constantly bringing new content to the players, which I really like, and it shows that they are truly dedicated to this game. Now, there may just be a little bit of lag at the start, just because purely I've found that the tutorial area is quite laggy, to be honest. I'm not sure why.
Please, I need your help.
It just is. But hopefully it'll sort itself out in a minute. Now, as you can see here, this is our, up here in the right hand corner, it shows your sort of story question. It says, defend in Shamor. As you can see, it has sort of a log of what we need to do, and it says, talk to Corporal Bernil, and Bernil is right here in front of us, as indicated by the green star above his head, so we'll just talk to him and see what he wants.
Everybody get to the end! We can protect you at the end!
Yes, now, we just have to run and hit the end. As I said, hopefully the frame rate will sort itself out. It's just purely due to fraps, the recording. If not, it would like run like just pure butter. It's awesome. It's well suited 2 motion machines. You can turn down the graphics system if you want to make it even better on older consoles, which is really nice. They've definitely optimized the system well. And now here we are in the inn. Now obviously here we're going to talk to Sergeant Walters, which is our next task, and this would drag us into sort of a cutscene, a sort of mini dialogue cutscene, which is really cool and you get quite a lot of in the game. So enjoy.
Sergeant, there are more centaurs on the other side of town. Captain Thackeray's calling for reinforcements at the garrison.
If he's calling for help, it must be serious. But I can't spare anyone.
I'll go. Captain Thackeray's never failed Divinity's Reach. If I can help him, I will.
Balthazar, bless you. That's the spirit that'll win this war. Good luck.
Okay, and there we go. Now, that is one thing which I really enjoy about Duels 2. They didn't have to put in those cutscenes, they could just have a person talk to you, but they did. And it shows that they are sort of dedicated to bringing sort of extra things which will make the game even better, which is really nice to see, and sort of adds depth to the whole storyline and the game itself. Just look at that view, oh my god, this game is amazing, and trust me, when we actually get out into the real world, some of the sights out there are awesome, and I definitely will be taking some screenshots, to be honest. As you can see, it says go to the garrison, and if you click M, which will bring up your main map, as you can see just right ahead of us, it says go to the garrison, and you can move while with the map, as indicated by this little thing here moving, which is us. So we are here. Oh, and it says now help defend the garrison. Now I believe normally when you go to this sort of bridge, you have to defeat Centaur waves, whereas obviously someone's done that before us, and now we have to help defend the garrison.
Rally to Captain Thackeray!
Now this is sort of like a wave of centaurs which will charge us. And this is actually a great opportunity to allow me to explain the sort of ability bar here. As you can see, we have 3 abilities, 2 are grayed out, and you gain these from your weapon that you're using right now, and you will gain these by killing people or foes with the weapons that you have equipped. Like as you can see, our first ability is called Flame Strike, and it puts a dot effect on foes. Now I sort of did the wrong thing there. I targeted that guy by clicking on him, and then activating my ability by clicking one rather. That's the great thing about Guild Wars 1. They have a great combat system whereby they don't make you basically. They don't make you tab target. I mean, I just did there, which is kind of stupid. But they don't make you tab target. Just by facing an enemy and activating an ability, it will automatically target them, which is really, really nice to see. And doesn't mean you're constantly having to like find your target using your mouse. Now, obviously, we have our second ability unlocked, and oh my god, look at those effects! This is what I mean by the effects in this game are awesome, especially the Elementalist. They're just amazing, to be honest. But anyway, Dragon's Tooth itself says drop an explosive Dragon's Tooth on your foes, and it gives 43 damage and burns 36 damage as well, which does something again. It's awesome! Oh my god. I don't know what it is about this sort of effect in this game. It just looks so sort of like natural and just over the top. It's really nice to see. Now, as you can see, this bar is slowly filling up here. We defend the garrison. We are almost done. I believe. Here we go. This is sort of the mini boss. Oh, and we've learned a new skill called Phoenix. Now this is a good chance. Oh, damn it! I accidentally activated it. But there are 2 types of skills in this game. There's these 2 types here where you just need to face a target, and by clicking 1, 2, and 3, it will happen. Then Phoenix here is a like area of effectability, as indicated by this little sort of targeting ring around it, number 3. And if you click it, it has this ring here which shows where the damage will happen. If you go out of range, it turns red, which is really nice to see. Oh, and here is our first boss. Okay, and here is our first boss battle. Now, this guy is just huge, it's ridiculous. I don't believe we have anyone else helping us, so I think it's just maybe all us. Oh, wow, yeah, as you can see, I think it's just us pinning down. Now, Crap's going to kind of hell. That's just clearly because like so much is happening, and Crap's kind of can't handle it. Don't worry, as I said before, normally is absolutely fine. This game runs like that. So, I actually saw there, the sort of red ring indicated sort of where the enemy was really nice to see in the game. Obviously this can activate our Phoenix. And by the way, Phoenix is going to do is basically sort of flies forward and explodes, then it also grants vigor, then returns to it and grants vigor. It's really nice to see. I'm literally far away from this. We'll not leave us alone. Oh god, okay, we might have to die. No, we won't die. No, we can do this. We can think positive. We're alone. As you can see, I'm dodging it up every time the arrow button. Now if we return to this guy, we will get healing out. Oh god, okay, we almost died there. Okay, there we go. Okay, well, we're surviving just by standing next to this guy. Now this is a good chance to show a cool feature about this game. It's not like other MMOs where it's you have like specific healing classes. Oh, and there we go. This is the boss. Okay, that's pretty cool. Oh, okay. Well, as I was saying, it's not like other games where there's healing classes. Because I mean, there are healing classes, but you don't have to depend on them to heal yourself. Each class has their own sort of healing ability, which I was just about to use there, which is your number 6 ability, and it basically, there are different types, depending on your class and which god you chose, which is really interesting to see, and sort of once again adds to diversity. But here we go, a cutscene. I hope you enjoy.
Where am I? What happened?
You were injured when the elemental exploded. Captain Thackeray brought you here personally. You've been unconscious for 3 days.
You had lots of visitors. Villagers you rescued, some seraph, even a noble from the city. He came by several times.
That'd be Lord Farron. He's a good friend. I'll check in with him once I'm fully recovered. What should I do now?
Fresh air and exercise are the best medicine. The goddess Duena helped you. Perhaps you could help others?
Thanks, I will. And thanks for taking such good care of me.
Bless you. You'll find plenty to do out in the valley. May Duena protect you.
And there we go. Now we have just completed our first sort of story quest, or personal quest I believe they're called. And each time you complete one of these quests you get a sort of reward screen here, which then comes up and allows you to select your reward, plus you get some gold and some experience points. As you can see here, we have the choice between a dull dagger or a wooden focus. I'm going to go dull dagger, so I just think abilities are the best. Now quickly, if you click H, it brings up your hero menu, which then obviously gives all your like abilities and stats and the equipment you're using right now. But also it shows the abilities, the equipment that you can use right now, which is really, really cool, so you don't have to go scrolling through your inventory. It literally just shows you what you can and can't use. Now you can either, like it says, as you can see, we currently have equipped the crooked rod, which says main hand, which is a scepter, and it says main hand. But this dagger is either hand, but for now we'll just put it in our off hand. So you can either like drag it down to this slot here, or you can just quickly double click and it will slot in there. And as you can see, we now have a dagger at our side, and also we have unlocked these 2 abilities. Well, not unlocked, but they will soon be unlocked. It is allowing us to gain new abilities. Now if I click I to open up my inventory, we also got this, which is our leather bag, and this is a cool feature about the game, which is sort of, you have these slots for bags, which isn't like groundbreaking or new, but you know, it's where you can get more bags, which gives you more inventory space. It's not like a set amount of inventory space, which is quite nice to see, and you get you can even craft your own bags, which is nice. Now obviously with just double click or you can drag, we have now unlocked these 4 slots down here, which has expanded our inventory, which is really nice. Now we are quickly going to go out here, if the frame rate sort of stuff out.
Hey,
here we are
over
out
here.
In the real world.
I know what's
Doesn't
going
this
on
look
in the valley.
amazing? Oh
Come
my
talk
god.
to me.
It's just, this game is fantastic, especially at night. It just looks awesome. Now, we are just going to quickly talk to this guy who will show us all of the opportunities and quests that lie ahead of us in the valley below. But and then afterwards, we are going to unfortunately have to wrap up this episode. But quickly, let's just talk to this guy.
The fields beyond Shaymore are Kryta's breadbasket. Since the centaur attack, citizens are trying to rebuild their lives. But it's tough with bandits and dangerous wildlife roaming the area. Don't wait for an invitation. Jump in and help them.
Okay, now as you can see, there are those heart quests there, and these heart quests are sort of just like quests that you can do out in the world, which will allow you to gain rewards and stuff like that, which is pretty cool. But I'm afraid we're going to have to wrap up here. Don't worry, I will hopefully be bringing you an episode very soon, and also episodes of our other series as well, which will be very, very exciting, and I'm glad to be finally doing again. So anyway, I guess all there is to say is I hope you're having a great week wherever you are in the world. I hope to see you next time in our future episodes and series. I will see you then, and bye bye.